Hey, just want to show you the mix on another one of the new Eclectotron songs. Let's check it out. So this one's called Space Pirate, and to give you an idea of what the song sounds like, I'll play a little bit of it. It's got some guitars. And then it's got some vocals.
Here we go, not again, space pirates boarding
And
us
then it's
once
got
more.
some synths.
I wanna look and feel just like you. The way you talk, you move, and fight too. I wanna space pirates,
Big chorus.
space pirate is right. Captain of the
More guitar.
night.
And that's the kind of stuff we've got going on in the song. I'll have a link to it in the description so you can listen to it. So I got a little quote in the intro as well.
I don't like.
So you can enjoy the final mix of it with the master and stuff. But right now I've got the whole thing turned down a little bit so I can talk over it. And I've got some of the master bus processing taken off of it. So first of all, let's take a look at the session. Again, really big session. I've got lots of tracks all organized in folders. Sound design, send return, Madison's verse vocal, Reese's talk box, Madison's pre-chorus vocal, Madison's harmony vocals, and that's for the chorus. I've got a vocoder in here, drum kit, bass guitar. I've got synthesizers, and I've got electric guitar stuff. So let's take a look, starting from the drums. I like to start mixes here. In this one, I've got a lot of stuff cut out or muted. We recorded all the drums in one day, so I set up the mics for all the different sounds I wanted for every track, and this song, very sort of 70s rock sounding, so I felt like I didn't need a ton of extra stuff. So here's what the drum kit sounds like by itself in the intro. And then in the verses, I'm removing some of the depth of the kit by pulling the overheads out. That's what this sounds like. And I bring the overheads back in when the drum fills on the toms happen. I also have the tom mics. Some people use gates. I just cut out the parts where the toms aren't playing, so I just remove it from the track completely. By itself, that sounds kind of weird. But it's just basically supporting the kit itself, which you hear enough of here. All this stuff. That stuff also bleeds into the other microphones. You really get enough of it, I think. Even like the kick out mic. You kind of have a lot of the toms in there. So that sounds like. Once we get to the pre-chorus here, where those synths come in, I'm bringing back in the kit front mic and the floor mic. That front mic sounds like this by itself. Not a whole lot going on, but it has a little bit more of the cymbals and a little bit more of the toms. The floor mic, it's sort of like a kit glue thing. You don't really need that stuff, but I like it. And then most of the mics come back in for the chorus. It sort of opens up the overheads a little bit. And that's basically what we've got going on for the drums. Let's bring the bass in here. So super overdriven sound. Very muted bass. That overdriven sound is coming in for the choruses, and I'm pulling it out for the verses. So let's hear that in the beginning here. And then let's hear that come back in. Halfway through the first part of it. And that's just a DI with an amp synth right there. And here, the whole bass sound. And when you combine that bass line with the guitar chords in the synth in that part, it sounds pretty cool. That chromatic walk up. Let's hear that with the chords in here. There's an organ and some synths playing that. And if we combine that with Reese's guitar part, that's got chords in there as well on the guitar chords. And we had to double that with chorus pedal in here. That guitar is, you can see it's consolidated from some parts of it being removed in certain parts of the song. I've also got an extra solo guitar here separated for when he's playing melody, like here at the end. And each one of these mics is doing a small amount of work, but let's go take a look at this whole guitar sound, one track at a time here. We've got a room mic that is off to the side. I have the room mic off to the side opposite the rest of the guitar mics, just to give it a sense of natural reverb. You bring in the close mics and the back of the cab mic, and then effect mic, and then the extra lead sound. Okay, that's Reese's. And then, oh yeah, Reese has a chorus mic as well. It's always tempting to put these chorus effects in wide stereo, but I think they sound cool on their own, and I like to get my stereo width from other places. There's so much going on in this part of the song that I think that leaving some stereo space for this Leslie and the Mini Moog, which has a stereo echo on it. And then there's another synth that's playing chords there in the chorus. That's just a what is that synth? It's like a Korg, the little one, mini log, monologue, one of those synths. Great little synths. If you don't mind mini keys, they sound awesome. Yeah, and let's check out my guitar as well. So my guitar track is basically playing this little ostinato on this part. With the chord changes, it's a little bit more interesting. Let's hear that with the bass as well. I did 2 passes through the song on the same exact guitar part. One with the distortion on it, one with just the lighter overdrive from the amp. So let's hear my sounds on their own here. So this is without the distortion mic now. And we'll bring that back in. Get a little bit more sustain out of that, basically. But I'm really trying to get it to sound like one guitar. You can hear it the most when there's a vibrato. And on the melody parts, I also added another support here. And that's actually not another take. That's the reamping from the DI on that same take. So that's what we've got there. This part with our guitars on their own, it sounds like this. And then let's bring the bass back in here. And then a huge dynamic shift there. And there's this call and response thing going on that I really like. And it's not an overlay, it's actually in the guitar part. So one guitar by itself sounds like this. And the bass kind of gives you the impression that the lower guitar part continues, but it just goes away entirely in that spot. And those responses are echoing the talk box part that happens in the verses. So let's hear the talk box in here somewhere. Where is that? It's in here somewhere. Here we go.
Levy missed that shot. Pretty sure I'm not.
And I have the talk box bouncing around in the stereo field just to
Everything we've got.
keep you paying attention. So let's hear that with the guitars.
Levy missed that shot. Pretty sure I'm not. Everything we've got gives me confidence, arrogance.
Okay. And let's check it out with the verse vocal in here.
I'm alive, smoking gun. I'm alive. I can't believe he missed that shot. I was sure I was dead, but now I'm pretty sure I'm not. Now's our chance.
So that's just two really, really good takes from Madison, matching up. I did some rhythm editing in here. That was mostly in another session, so it's not like this perfect where there's only one cut, but it was two really, really good takes basically.
Even mine.
And I'm doing a little bit of tuning. I am using Reaper's tuning, Retune. That one sounds a lot more natural than like Melodyne or Autotune. And it's not as powerful usually, but if your takes are good, you don't need Melodyne. Melodyne makes anyone sound like Melodyne, and Autotune makes anyone sound like Autotune. And there's other ways of fixing small discrepancies in tuning, and sometimes you don't need to do it at all. So I didn't even tune this whole
Fucking door.
I have to mark this YouTube video as not for kids because of that. So
Fucking door. Once inside, pistols
Let's
high,
hear that
they
with,
shout
bass
and
part.
threaten all our lives. Take it all, take your time, since none of this shit's even mine. You know what? I'm inclined to learn a thing or two this time. It's time to change our motherfucking
Let's send this back
lives.
I wanna look and feel just like you. Talk and move and fuck
Okay.
too. I wanna feel the way.
Let's get to this pre-chorus part now. This has a pretty cool vocal arrangement between Madison and Reese on the talk box. I also threw in a vocoder, which we don't use live. Where's that vocoder in here somewhere? I haven't looked this session in months. Here's the vocoder. And this vocoder is actually fed from, I believe, the talk box.
Give me confidence, arrogance, inherent resilience. I wanna take the things that make you you and seal them all for me.
So that is basically a way of getting your vocoder to sound perfect is if you feed it the same vocal that you're harmonizing with as the source for the signal. So that's those parts. And then Madison, where are you? Pre-chorus vocal. Here we go. So this is all the vocals for this part.
I wanna look and feel just like you. The way you talk and move and fight too. I wanna feel the things that I do. Move my destiny. Give me confidence, arrogance, an air of bold resilience. I wanna take the things that make you you and steal them all from me. I wanna be a space pirate.
Okay, so that's that part. And every time I hear that, I feel like a teenager reading a comic book for the first time or something. I wanna be a... we actually left the noise carrier on the vocoder for that. I wanna be a... I actually really like this. You don't hear that in the final, but I had that that was a mistake when I was setting the vocoder up, and I loved it, so I buried it in the mix, as us music makers do. So this whole part is basically just like, let's make a harmony that fits the chords, and also fits the vocal part. The main vocal,
I wanna look and feel
again, it's
just
just
like you.
a really good
the
double.
way you talk and move and fight too. I
The harmony
wanna look and feel just like you. The way you talk and
is
move
like
and
whenever we record Madison, and we want a vocal harmony, we just basically leave her on the mic and we're like, okay, we need a harmony. And I wanna look and feel just like you, and we just like sing it at her, and she sings it back well, and it's and that's that's up in the recording. So we probably came up with that harmony part in like 3 minutes, and recorded it, all of this, and we recorded all this in like a few hours. So the moral of the story is, if you want a better recording, just sing more often, and you'll do a good job.
just like you. The way you talk and move and fight too. I wanna feel the things that I do. Move my destiny.
Give me
Confidence, arrogance, an air of bold resilience. I wanna take the things that make you you and steal them all from me. I wanna be a space pirate.
Okay, so for processing on the talk box, I just put limiters on talk boxes. I use compressors as well, but I just slam them with a limiter until they're flat, basically.
Space pirate. Space pirate is right. Captain.
Like, I just use a compressor until it gets close, and then I just flat top everything else. I'm using Pultec clone. That's boosting 10K for presence and around 1K for body. Let me show you that with and without here. That's track 14. This one.
Space pirate. Just like you, the way you talk and
Without?
move and fight too. I wanna feel the things that
With.
I do. Move my
Subtle.
destiny. Give me confidence.
Without the compressor.
Arrogance, an air of bold
Subtle.
resilience. I wanna
De-esser,
take the things that
and an
make
EQ.
you
So without
steal
anything,
them
though?
all for me. Just like you, the way you talk and move and fight too. I wanna feel the things
Basically,
that
I
I
try
do.
to get all of the quiet stuff to be just as loud as all the loud stuff. Big rock song needs super compressed vocal, in my opinion. Same kind of thing going on with Madison. Let's see what we've got on her. Limiter, Black
It's so tight, they shout and threaten all our lives.
Once
Take
again,
it
with
all.
the limiters, I am just trying to catch the tippy tops of the peaks that the compressor mixed. I do the 1176 into the tube compressor style. The Arturia ones have presets that are like for that trick, the 2-layer compressor thing, and I start with those presets. I've been doing that for a while. I actually really love these plugins. I'm not sponsored by them. I use them all the time though. Without that, subtle
It's
again.
so tight, they shout and threaten all our lives. Take it all.
With it
Take
again.
your time, since none
It's just
of
like
this
a
shit's
thickening thing that catches the parts where it gets really loud. I also do some amount of clip gain to do that, but I do the clip gain in an editing session, so you don't see most of that in here. What else do we have? This send return. Yeah, I've got a long reverb, a short reverb, a long delay, a slap delay, and a parallel distortion that's grabbing a lot of the drums. It's also grabbing some of the vocals. So let's hear just what's in this. So a lot of boost from the snare. And mostly just reverb and echo. It's just a mess. Imagine if that was the song. Be pretty cool. In here, I have very little going on. I have a little reversed snare hit on the going into the choruses. No other sound design really. There's a message from Spaces. That's the movie that quote's from. The quote is here.
They were probably attacked by space pirates.
I don't like this.
Yeah, and that has some processing on it, just like a little vinyl sim and a EQ. I have it messed up because I didn't want to move around the timing of the whole project, and we decided to add that pretty late in the game. So let's see, we've got the drum mix. Let's take a look at next. Again, sounds like this. I have some support from triggers. Pretty simple. Without it, it's almost the same. I like the way it that kick sample complements the rest of the kit, though. The kick is kick in, kick out, and what do you call it? The front of kit sound here, and the floor. And I have the kick in duplicated in on 2 different tracks because this part has double kick beats. So whenever you've got like a faster tempo with 8th notes or 16th notes on your kick, and you turn it down and you process it differently. I like to take low end out of it. There's just so much more of a build up, and you don't really need all that extra punch that you have in these other parts. Okay, and then you get that snappy, punchy, high mid, high end from the trigger that you can't really get when you're recording a kit because you have other stuff that you're recording at the same time. The snare, top, bottom, and then this contact mic that I made out of the headphones. With the overheads, you get a little bit more snare. With the front, you get more snare still. The floor gets the snare a lot. The hi-hat always gets the snare a lot. The overheads, I'd say like 90% of the coolness of the snare is always in the overheads. That's what the snare drum sounds like, right? And then the other stuff is there to push it through the mix, push it through all the other stuff. Bass guitar is a couple mics on a cab and some direct inputs. On these, I usually have DI being most of it. I don't remember what I did here. This is a clean DI. And then the dirty DI. Let's bring that back in. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of it. This is probably the other DI. Yeah, other DI. What is this one? This is the cab. So this is what the cab sounds like. And that's we just put like a little mute. You can't see it really well under the bridge of the bass to get that sound. And for live, just he palm mutes it. And I actually kind of regret doing it this way. I feel like he should have just palm muted it for the recording. I ended up having to do a lot of pitch correction on the bass. The mutes will messed the intonation up, and we didn't catch some of it while we were recording. And I would say that I probably cut out almost every single one of these notes to individually pitch correct each one. And I hated it. It was a horrible, horrible day, and it was completely my fault for suggesting the mute and for not catching that it was out of tune, because we could have solved that like any step of the way except for the last step. And I'm sorry, Oliver, that I put you through dealing with the mute. And then had to go through and essentially like manually pitch correct every note because it made everything above like the 3rd fret out of tune. And this song is mostly above the 3rd fret because
Here we go.
got like but oh boy, do I love the sound of a mute on a bass guitar. We weren't careful. And again, that was completely my fault. So that's basically what we've got going on in the song. It's a pretty simple recording for something with so many tracks. No BS or extra production stuff going on. It's really just instruments. So we've got the standard long and short reverb, long and short delay, a parallel distortion for the snare and some of the pre-chorus vocals that sound a little bit more radioed out. Just the little reverse snare,
Space Pirates.
which you don't notice it until you do.
Space Pirates.
And then talk box, which is in 3 parts sometimes.
Captain of the void above my future's burning bright. Space pirate. Space pirate, alright. Captain of the void. Space pirate is right.
These by themselves are very disco.
Space Pirate is right. Space Pirate is right. Space Pirate. Space Pirate is right.
This would be a fun song to do a remix
Captain
of.
of the void above my future's burning bright. Space Pirate.
That long,
Space Pirate,
long
alright.
Echo is doing a lot of work on those backing vocals. Cool. The one thing that I don't think I went into here is the arrangement of the outro, because I do think this song is an arrangement. I think it's just a pretty good arrangement, and that's why the mix sounds good. There's not a whole lot of instruments playing the same thing as each other when they're important.
To the cold, dark night.
So, in this part, Reese actually has the main melody here. I do most of the guitar melody stuff in this band lately, but in this one, I took the top melody on the earlier part, and it's just such a 2-guitar rock song that I was like, oh, we'll each take turns doing that. But in this one, it's like there's 2 solos at the same time, basically. And this one is one of my weirder arrangements. But I did like I started out with this thing, and I felt like it just wasn't enough by itself. It's kind of like a Ritchie Blackmore lead thing. And it's just outlining the triads that the chords are supposed to be. Which, let's hear that with the bass. And it's a fun part by itself. I forgot which Rainbow song I ripped off. Those are all like reverse whammy bar things where you hold down the bar and you lift it up. With Reese's part, is there a guitar chord? I don't think he did chords in this. No. It sounds like this. And when we were doing keyboards, we had the Hammond out. So we decided to do the I tried to sing that. You heard that. So that's doubled on the organ here. And then I played the mini moog. Or was that the mini moog or the brute? It was the mini moog. Yeah, we used the brute in that part. Okay. So let's hear that with the keys in there as well, actually. So that's Reese on my left ear. And then we switch places. She's on top, halfway through. Once it gets to the big squeals. This is very King Diamond inspired, like a mansion in darkness. The gliss on the organ, cool. And I don't know why we didn't think of that earlier, but we added that like very last minute. Just like, why don't we just do Space Pirate all right at the end? It fits the song. So what was I gonna pull up here? These. I've got another synth in here that I didn't find. So in that first big bandy part, we put the matrix brute in halfway through. So the synth changes partway through here. Yeah, so this guy right here. It's interesting how they're doing such similar things, but they sound so different. So as far as the tones go, though, on this stuff, I wish I could be like, oh yeah, just use this plugin. It's the mini moog, the matrix brute, a Hammond with a Leslie, like actually mic'd up. The guitar is like it's my custom high spirit like Strat style guitar through like a clone of a Marshall JTM 45 with like great speakers, and Reese's guitar is custom like sort of Jaguar style guitar. It's the offset body that Connor makes with high spirit. I have a video of myself playing one on the channel. I'll try to find it, but all this stuff is just like, we wanted to do this very old-fashioned way. The drum kit's pretty much just mic'd up drum kit. There's a little bit of amp sim stuff going on with the some of the guitars effects and the bass, but it's mostly just like, let's try to make a very 1970s sounding recording, like super like old school hi-fi. And then the master Matt did to tape, so the final recording you hear is like this mix mastered on a bunch of analog gear and bounced out to a tape machine. So it's very if you think it sounds like like an old school 70s recording, that's because it almost is.
Space Pirates! Space Pirate is right!
I have a little bit of automation of an EQ. Bringing up a little boost in the high frequency on the choruses and on the parts that are like really in your face. Without that, it sounds like this. So almost the same. I'm mostly cutting from the other parts, so that's why that sounds similar. And anyway, that's the song. There is really nothing fancy about this mix in terms of production value. It's just a bunch of things that we thought sounded cool, mic'd up with a lot of microphones, and check for phase, check for phase problems. And by that I mean make sure that stuff is either in phase or sounds cool because it's out of phase. Because I do kind of like what phase issues do for certain things. But that is Space Pirate, the new Eclectotron song that is should be out today, I think, if I'm putting this video out at the right time. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album, so I hope you go take a listen to it and add it to your favorite rock and roll playlist or something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.